They're not going to get that pick-me-up from their baseball team, not from the New York Mets. In fact, Mets baseball makes that post-apocalyptic hellscape look and feel like a clear and breezy summer day by comparison. You know that one day when you all come out in Central Park, like that first day, you're all out there, you're roller skating, you're jogging, your shirts are off, you're hanging out. By comparison, it looks like that. Like, if New York is a post-apocalyptic hellscape right now, then I don't even know what you'd call the Mets. Their whatever is way worse than that. Or, I guess you could just say, New York City looks like the Mets are playing right now, right? Because not only did the Mets just get swept by their arch rivals in Atlanta last night to make it 6 straight losses and drop them 3 games under 500 and into 4th place in the NL East, all of which, I don't care where we are in the calendar, is unacceptable. But they did that in the most excruciating, most pathetic, most Mets way ever. They lost all 3 games in that sweep after leading all 3 games by at least 3 runs. That's not easy to do. And of course, the series ended on an extra inning walk-off because of course it did. How else could it end? Exactly. It could not end any other way. Somehow the Mets managed to be astonishingly awful and also unbelievably predictable at the exact same time. It actually would be impressive if it wasn't so, I don't know, the exact opposite of impressive. Pathetic. That's the word I'm looking for. Pathetic. These dopes lost the last 2 games of this series, even though they sent $86 million in salary to the mound to start those 2 games. But apparently Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander cannot save the Mets from being the Mets. And apparently no amount of money can stop the Mets from being the Mets. And they're doing their best to prove it once again this year. Check these numbers out. Take this for data. Did you know this team not only has the highest payroll in baseball, they have the highest payroll in the history of baseball, and by a lot. No team has ever had a payroll north of $300 million until this year. The Mets payroll is $345 million, a full $66 million more than the Yankees. $66 million is the entire Baltimore Orioles payroll. And Baltimore is currently 14 games over 500, just like the Braves. The Mets are 3 games under. What could possibly be more Mets than that? Which is why Met fan is in full-blown season over already mode. Already. It's June 9th. And even though this is the team with the highest payroll ever that was supposed to be World Series contenders, Mets fan thinks the season is over already. On June 9th. And for some reason, my guy, and I love him, I always have, my guy Buck Showalter decided to make it all even more humiliating after the game. And again, I want to be very clear about this. I like Buck a lot. I've always liked Buck. I think Buck is a damn good manager. And so about a month ago, he was actually doing a really nice job with the Mets. So I really like this guy. I always have. But I hate what he said after that game last night, after that humiliating sweep to their arch rivals, where they blew 3 3-run leads in a row. What you absolutely cannot do is tell the New York media how proud you are of that team. Hey, Buck, my guy, I know you're trying to keep them up. I know you don't want to pile on, but come on, man. I got to go Johnny Mac on you here. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You're proud of them? I mean, what are you? Le Cap?
I mean, it's not failure at all.
Are you trying to channel your inner Giannis?
There's no failure in sports.
No, there absolutely is failure in sports. And the last 3 Met games are some of the best evidence that you will ever find when it comes to finding failure in sports. You're proud? Skip? Proud of what? You look at that as a positive? How? What is positive about that? You just got completely humiliated by your biggest rival. How is it a positive when you get swept and you blow all 3 games that you led in? How is it positive when you have no composure? How is it positive when you decide to poke the bear? Because the Mets did poke the bear, and they brought this on themselves. In fact, it was a polar bear, a grizzly bear. Well, the polar bear who poked the bear, because back in the first game of the series, Pete Alonso decided to start chirping from the dugout at the pitcher after hitting a 2-run bomb. This is what Alonso is yelling after blasting a hanging slide piece out of the park. At that point, the Mets led 4-1. And as you know now, they would blow that lead and then blow another 3-run lead the next day and then blow yet another 3-run lead the next day. And to add insult to injury, of course, Alonso got dotted. He was hit in the hand on Wednesday, and he hit the IL this morning. As if Met fan needed yet another kick in the stick. Although we're getting to a point where Met fan has experienced so many blasts to the package, the Met fan is now completely numb down there. The only thing worse than Alonso's attempted smack was his attempt to explain the attempted smack. Yo, bro, who twisted what you said? What twisting was going on? And nobody's offended, Pete. They just got over on you. You tried to run some lame-ass smack that you could not back up, and a much better team stomped your asses for it. And you might think that it's friendly, competitive banter, but guess who disagrees? The team that just hammered you. They don't do friendly, and they don't do happy banter either. They don't do nice radio. They're nasty. And they kick your asses over and over and over and over again. Maybe you guys should take a note or two about that. They may be the new, expensive, high-budget, big-money Mets, but absolutely nothing has changed other than the payroll. In every other way, this Mets team looks and sounds exactly like every other Mets team that has been so disappointing. And of course, Met fan is understandably bent. Really bent. Really bent. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it on the phones. I'm seeing it in my mentions. I'm seeing Met fans saying, good, Rome, good. I'm glad you started the program with this. In fact, you know what? I am caught up. What I'm going to do on a Friday, because I can, I'm going to break format. I am going to break format and go right to the calls. I want to hear from you, Met fan. I want to hear what you have to say about your team blowing 3-run leads to your arch rival. I want to hear what you have to say about your manager saying, hey, I'm proud of them. They did great. They competed. I like what I see. Yeah, if ever there was a time to break format, now is the time to break format. Now is the time for me to take a telephone call for one of those justifiably pissed off Met fans. Normally, I would never break the format open in the open because the open is really critical for setting the tone and setting the table. But I think given the circumstances in New York City this week, I'm going to make an exception. Hell yes, I am. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to line 1. Dylan in New York City. Dylan, I got a feeling I know the answer to the question, but how you feeling? What's up, dude?
Terry, show some emotion, you old ass, silly ass man. I want to punch the out of you, knock your teeth out. Now, who's gonna be smiling? I will. Never show a smile. I mean, when you do, you're spanking the teammates at you. You're spanking Michael Conforto's sorry ass. That's what you're doing. So, Terry, goodbye. Have
Buck, you
Wally
mean.
Backman come over here.
Buck, you mean. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.